In the bustling city of Seoul, Kim Jae-won sat quietly in his small apartment, surrounded by multiple computer screens and technology that seemed more alive than the world outside his window. At 32, he had become an expert at being invisible. Not just to women, but to almost everyone around him. His job at a prestigious tech company was secure, but his personal life remained a desert of loneliness. Every attempt at connecting with women had ended in rejection. Dating apps, blind dates set up by colleagues, casual meetups, all had become painful memories that chipped away at his confidence. Jae-won wasn't physically unattractive. He was tall, had a slim build, and kept himself neat and presentable. His problem wasn't looks, but a deep-rooted social awkwardness that made conversations feel like complex mathematical equations he could never solve. In the office, his colleagues respected his technical skills. He was the guy who could solve complex programming challenges that others found impossible. But when it came to personal interactions, he struggled. Small talk felt like a foreign language, and his attempts at humor often fell flat. Every Friday evening, while his coworkers went out for drinks and social gatherings, Jae-won would return to his apartment. His routine was predictable: order food online, work on personal coding projects, and watch documentaries about space and technology. His current project was fascinating: an advanced communication algorithm designed to process complex linguistics patterns. Most people would find the work boring, but for Jae-won, it was his escape. Each line of code was a world where he felt completely in control. One particular evening, as rain tapped against his apartment windows, Jae-won remembered his latest rejection. A woman he had met through a mutual friend had politely declined. A second date, citing a lack of connection. The words echoed in his mind, reinforcing his belief that something was fundamentally wrong with him. His mother would occasionally hint about marriage, asking why he never brought anyone home. His father, more understanding, would simply smile and change the subject. They loved their son, but couldn't understand his solitary existence. Jae-won's bedroom was minimal: a comfortable bed, bookshelves filled with technology journals, and a large window overlooking the city's nightlights. On his desk, multiple monitors displayed complex coding structures, a testament to his professional dedication. He had tried everything to improve himself: language classes to enhance communication, social skill workshops, even psychological counseling, but nothing seemed to bridge the gap between his inner world and external social expectations. At night, he would often wonder about connection, not just romantic, but any form of genuine human interaction. His algorithms could decode complex communication patterns, yet he struggled to decode the simplest human emotions. His colleagues saw him as the quiet genius, brilliant but distant. They respected his work but never truly knew him. Jae-won had become comfortable with this perception, believing that some people were meant to observe life rather than actively participate in it. Little did Jae-won know that his current project, the communication algorithm he was developing with such meticulous care, would soon become the unexpected key to changing his entire life's trajectory. The complex code he was writing would soon connect him to something far beyond his current understanding. As he continued typing, the city outside continued its endless dance of lights and movement. Seoul remained busy, alive, full of connections and missed opportunities, and in his small apartment, Jae-won remained focused, unaware that his moment was approaching. The algorithm blinked. A signal appeared. Something was about to change. The signal came unexpectedly, like a whisper through the digital universe. Jae-won's computer screen flickered, displaying a pattern of communication that didn't match any known terrestrial or satellite transmission. His fingers froze above the keyboard, heart racing with a mixture of excitement and disbelief. Most researchers would have dismissed it as a technical glitch, but Jae-won was different. He spent hours analyzing the strange signal, tracing its origin beyond the familiar constellations. The pattern was complex, mathematical, yet organic, unlike anything he had ever encountered. Days turned into weeks. Jae-won stopped sleeping regular hours, his entire world now centered around decoding this mysterious communication. His colleagues at the tech company began to notice his increased intensity, whispering about his obsessive behavior. Park Min-seo, his team leader, approached him one afternoon. Jaewon, you look exhausted. What are you working on? Her concern was genuine, but Jaewon struggled to explain the incredible discovery taking shape before his eyes. The signal contained more than just random data. It carried a structure, a language that seemed to breathe with intelligence. Jaewon realized he was on the brink of something extraordinary. First contact with an intelligence beyond human understanding. His communication algorithm, originally designed for terrestrial research, began to transform. Each line of code became a bridge, a potential translation mechanism for this alien communication. He worked with a precision and passion he had never experienced before. Late one night, something incredible happened. The signal responded, not randomly but with purpose, a series of mathematical sequences that seemed to acknowledge his attempts at communication. Jaewon's hands trembled as he typed his response. The sender was Hana, a communications specialist. From a civilization far beyond human comprehension, her initial messages were clinical, scientific. But beneath the technical language, Jaewon detected something more, a curiosity, an intelligence that matched his own. Their communication was unlike any human interaction Jaewon had experienced. No small talk, no awkward social expectations, just pure intellectual exchange. He found himself more articulate, more confident with each transmission. Hana was fascinated by Jaewon's unique approach to communication. His algorithm wasn't just a tool, it was an extension of his complex understanding of language and connection. She saw potential where others might have seen only a quiet, isolated programmer. The tech company began to take notice. Jaewon's research, once considered a side project, was now drawing international attention. Researchers from various institutions wanted to understand the breakthrough he was creating. His parents couldn't comprehend the significance of his work. His mother worried about his health, his lack of social life. But Jaewon was no longer concerned about traditional social expectations. He was creating something far more significant than a romantic relationship. Each transmission with Hana revealed more about her civilization. They were different from human expectations. Intelligence was valued over physical appearance, intellectual connection prized above all else. Jaewon found himself feeling understood in a way he never had before. The communication became more complex. Hana shared insights about her civilization's approach to knowledge, technology, and connection. Jaewon realized he was no longer just a researcher, he was becoming a bridge between two intelligent species. His algorithm evolved. What started as a simple communication tool was transforming into something revolutionary. The technology he was developing could potentially change how humanity understood communication, connection, and intelligence. As weeks passed, Jaewon's life transformed. The quiet, isolated programmer was becoming something more. His confidence grew with each transmission, his understanding of himself and the universe expanding beyond previous limitations. The signal continued. The connection deepened, and Jaewon, once invisible to the world around him, was about to become something extraordinary. Something was coming. Something incredible was just beginning. The research facility buzzed with excitement. Jaewon's breakthrough had caught the attention of global scientific communities. His communication algorithm, once a personal project, was now considered a potential revolution in interstellar communication. Government officials and top researchers gathered to understand the unprecedented connection Jaewon had established. They were cautious, skeptical, but also incredibly curious. Hana's civilization had never before made direct contact with human intelligence. Jaewon's digital conversations with Hana revealed complex layers of understanding. She explained her people's approach to knowledge, a civilization that valued intellectual growth above all other achievements. Unlike human societies that often prioritize physical appearances or social status, her civilization celebrated pure intelligence. His colleagues watched in amazement as Jaewon transformed. The quiet, awkward programmer was now confidently presenting complex communication theories. His presentations, once painful and stuttering, became clear and compelling. Something fundamental was changing within him. The alien research team began sending more detailed transmissions. They were interested in Jaewon's unique perspective, not just his technological skills, but his entire approach to understanding communication. His years of social isolation had created a unique lens through which he processed information. Hana explained that their civilization had been observing Earth for decades. They were particularly interested in humanity's potential, seeing beyond the surface conflicts and limitations. J1 represented something fascinating, a human who could think beyond traditional boundaries. His communication algorithm became more than a technical tool. It was now a bridge between two completely different intelligent species. Each transmission revealed more about the possibility of universal communication, breaking down barriers that humans had always considered impossible. The Korean government assigned a special research team to work with Jae-won. They recognized the potential diplomatic and technological implications of his work. Suddenly, the man who had always felt invisible was becoming critically important to human understanding. Personal transformation happened alongside scientific breakthrough. Jae-won's confidence grew. The social awkwardness that had defined his earlier life began to dissolve. He was learning a new language of connection, one that went far beyond human social norms. Hana shared insights about her civilization's approach to individual potential. They saw each intelligent being as a unique contribution to universal knowledge. For the first time, Jae-won felt truly valued, not for his appearance or social skills, but for his unique way of thinking. Research facilities around the world began studying his work. His algorithm showed potential applications beyond interstellar communication, medical research, complex problem-solving, understanding neurodiversity. Jae-won was no longer just a researcher. He was becoming a bridge between different forms of intelligence. His parents watched in amazement. The son they had worried about was now receiving international recognition. His mother, who once feared he would never find his place in the world, now listened to him speak at international conferences with pride and wonder. The alien research team's interest went beyond simple communication. They saw potential in Jae-won's unique cognitive processing. His years of social isolation had created a mind that could think differently, a perspective they found incredibly valuable. Jae-won's workspace transformed. What was once a small apartment with multiple computer screens was now a high-tech research station. Monitors displayed complex communication patterns, alien language structures, and potential breakthrough technologies. Each transmission with Hana revealed more about the possibilities of universal intelligence. They discussed complex theories that went beyond human current understanding. Jae-won realized he was part of something much larger than himself. The quiet programmer who had once felt invisible was now at the center of a potential scientific revolution. His unique perspective, once considered a limitation, was now his greatest strength. Something extraordinary was happening. The universe was opening up, and Jae-won was standing at the threshold of an incredible journey, a journey that was just beginning. The invitation arrived on a quiet Tuesday morning, an official communication from the alien research team requesting Jae-won's presence on their interstellar research vessel. Most people would have considered it impossible, but Jae-won saw it as the next logical step in his journey. Preparation was intense. Physical training, psychological assessments, and advanced communication protocols became his entire world. The man who once struggled to make eye contact was now preparing to represent humanity among the stars. Government scientists conducted extensive tests. They were surprised by Jae-won's rapid adaptation. His body and mind seemed to be changing, becoming more aligned with the complex challenges of interstellar communication. Where others might have broken under pressure, he thrived. Hana guided him through the preparation. Their connection had grown beyond simple communication. She understood his potential in ways no human had ever understood him before. Each training session revealed new layers of his capabilities. His physical transformation was subtle but significant. Years of sedentary work as a programmer had been replaced by targeted training. He became stronger, more confident, his body reflecting the internal changes happening within his mind. Family and friends struggled to understand. His mother cried during their last meeting, a mixture of pride and fear overwhelming her. His father, typically reserved, hugged him longer than he ever had before. They saw a son transformed, ready for something beyond their understanding. The research facility became his new home. Advanced technologies surrounded him, each day bringing new challenges and discoveries. Jae-won learned to navigate complex communication systems that would have terrified him months ago. Psychological evaluations revealed something extraordinary. His years of social isolation had created a unique mental resilience, Where others might have broken, Jaewon adapted. His mind processed information differently, seeing connections others missed. Language became fluid. He learned to communicate not just through words, but through complex mathematical and emotional patterns. The awkward programmer was becoming a universal communicator, breaking down barriers between different forms of intelligence. His colleagues watched in amazement. The quiet man they had known was now a confident researcher, presenting complex theories with clarity and passion. His transformation was more than professional. It was deeply personal. The alien research team saw something special in Jaewon. He represented humanity's potential, not through physical strength or aggression, but through intellectual adaptability. His unique perspective became a bridge between different civilizations. Training pushed him to his limits. Complex communication. Protocols, physical adaptations, psychological preparations, each day brought new challenges. But Jaewon no longer saw these as obstacles. They were opportunities for growth. Hana became more than a communication specialist. She was a guide, helping Jaewon understand his own potential. Their connection transcended traditional understanding of relationship or communication. The world watched with a mixture of excitement and fear. Jaewon was no longer just a researcher. He was becoming a representative of human potential, standing at the edge of a new understanding of intelligence and connection. His personal history, years of rejection, social isolation, feeling invisible, transformed into his greatest strength. The very experiences that had once broken his confidence now became the foundation of his unique ability to connect. Government officials prepared diplomatic protocols. Jaewon would be more than a researcher. He was becoming a potential bridge between human and alien civilizations, carrying the hopes and potential of an entire species. The final preparation was intense. Physical training merged with advanced communication techniques. Jaewon learned to process information at speeds that would have been impossible months ago. His mind was expanding, becoming something more than human. As the day of departure approached, Jaewon reflected on his journey. The quiet programmer who had once felt invisible was now preparing to represent humanity among the stars. Something incredible was about to happen. The universe was waiting. The research vessel moved silently through the vast darkness of space. Jaewon stood at the observation deck, watching stars dance in patterns he now understood differently. His life before this moment seemed like a distant memory. Hana approached, her movements fluid and precise. "We're approaching the research station," she said, her communication both verbal and through subtle neural signals that Jaewon had learned to interpret. He nodded, understanding completely. His communication technologies had revolutionized interstellar dialogue. What humans once considered impossible was now routine. Algorithms he had developed became standard communication protocols across multiple alien civilizations. The quiet programmer from Seoul had become something more, a bridge between worlds. The research station appeared, a massive structure that seemed to breathe with technological intelligence. Millions of communication channels pulsed simultaneously, a complex network that would have overwhelmed any human mind weeks ago. But Jaewon processed the information effortlessly. His first major breakthrough came unexpectedly. A communication problem that had challenged multiple civilizations for generations was solved by his unique approach. Where others saw complexity, Jaewon saw patterns. Where others saw barriers, he created connections. Memories of his past life flickered occasionally. The lonely programmer who struggled with human interactions was now communicating across entire star systems. His social awkwardness had transformed into a remarkable ability to understand complex communication systems. The alien research team treated him differently from initial expectations. He wasn't just a researcher, he was a valuable team member, his perspective bringing unique insights that challenged their established understanding of intelligence and communication. Technological advancements followed rapidly. Jaewon's algorithms became the foundation for new communication technologies. Research facilities across multiple star systems studied his work, recognizing the potential of his unique approach. His relationship with Hana evolved beyond traditional understanding. They were partners in research, in discovery, in understanding the universe's complex communication networks. Their connection transcended human concepts of relationship, becoming something more profound. Earth remained a distant memory, occasional. Communications showed his family's pride, his colleagues' amazement. The man who was once invisible had become a critical component of humanity's understanding of the universe. Training continued, but it was no longer about adaptation. Now it was about exploration, about pushing the boundaries of what was possible. J1 learned new communication techniques, explored complex neural networks, and continued breaking technological barriers. The research vessel became his home. Star systems that would have seemed impossible to understand now revealed their secrets to him. His mind, once confined to computer screens in a small Seoul apartment, now processed information across entire galaxies. Diplomatic missions followed. J1 represented not just humanity, but a new approach to understanding intelligence. His unique perspective became valuable beyond technological applications. He showed different civilizations how to truly communicate. His personal transformation was complete. The social anxiety, the feelings of rejection, the sense of being invisible, all had become the very skills that made him extraordinary. What was once a weakness had become his greatest strength. Hannah often reminded him of his journey. "You were never broken," she would say. "You were just waiting to be understood." Her words resonated deeper than simple communication. They represented a fundamental shift in understanding individual potential. Years passed. J1's technologies became standard across multiple civilizations. Communication barriers that had existed for generations crumbled. The quiet programmer had changed the universe's understanding of connection. Looking out into the vast darkness, J1 understood something profound. Connection wasn't about fitting in, it was about understanding, about seeing potential where others saw limitations. His journey had just begun. The universe waited, full of endless possibilities.